How and what you recycle makes a difference in the health of the earth. It can relieve pressure on natural resources like trees, it can reduce air pollution and greenhouse gases, and it can extend the life of landfills, among other things. Before you throw something in the trash, recycling is well worth a second thought, especially on the 52nd Annual Earth Day today, April 22nd. The maze of recycling rules and practices can be bewildering, and if you'd just like to know a few simple guidelines to correct common mistakes, skip ahead to the do's and don'ts section of this story. But it's also fascinating. For many Americans, recycling ranks ahead of some of the most confusing things in life, more confusing than building IKEA furniture, doing their taxes, playing the stock market, or understanding the opposite sex, according to a report from the Consumer Brands Association, a trade group that has lobbied for more uniform recycling laws. Beside the common practices shared by most trash haulers and cities, there are a myriad of differences in recycling rules that depend on where you live and who's picking up your trash. That's particularly true when it comes to plastics. Just because they're recyclable, chasing arrows on a container or packaging doesn't mean it's going to get recycled if you put it in the bin. In fact, throwing some of those items in the same bin with legitimate recyclables can cause more work at the sorting stations, requiring more employees and increasing bills. The labeling misleads consumers into believing all plastics are recyclable, so there's no pressure on the manufacturer to address the problem, said Nick Lapis of Californians Against Waste. For instance, since China and other countries largely stopped importing U.S. recyclables in the 2010s, plastics labeled with the recycling NOS 3 to 7 often end up in the landfill. Waste Management's Mary Hartley said her company removes all NOS 3 to 7 plastics from the recycling stream. But that's not the case for every hauler. Republic Services Debbie Killey said her company has found a market for those plastics and does recycle most of NOS 3 to 7. The state legislature is considering an even dozen bills that would reduce plastic waste, including measures that would require manufacturers to use recycled content. Such a mandate could create more markets and recycling infrastructure. Other bills aim to eliminate the chasing arrows from items that are not being recycled, and reduce the use of unrecyclable single-use products and packaging. As a result, the growing proliferation of single-use, unrecyclable packaging could be approaching a turning point. There are more and more types of packaging because it looks cool, it's marketing, Lapis said. But policymakers are really starting to focus on it. We're on the verge of moving in the other direction. Such changes have been a long time coming.